Hey everyone, so today we will be talking about a very interesting topic, which is cloud computing a good career option or not? So before talking about the job related stuff, let me explain you what is this cloud computing. And I'm pretty sure at least in this last 5, 6, 8 years, you would have heard this cloud technology, cloud tech stack, cloud services related terms a lot. I'm pretty sure if you are even an aspiring software engineer, you would have seen these terms in the job requirements, job details, and even you are building an application, there will be some components where you are interacting with the cloud services. You would have heard the terms like AWS, GCP, Azure, which are definitely different types of cloud service providers. So first, let me explain what is this cloud computing in a simpler note. Just you can assume the cloud computing is nothing, basically a on-demand request for anything, right? And that you will get with the help of internet, like, or even you can say you will get it over the web. So this is like on a higher level cloud computing. And here I mentioned one thing: you request something, request access or anything. So here you can imagine your typical software, like there will be different components. Let's take a very simple example of a web application where you will be having some front end, you will be having some back end, and back end will be hosted, or even the entire application will be hosted on some server, right? Where you will spin up your web server and you will host your application, and then with the help of APIs, right, you can just interact with that particular web application. There will be some kind of database as well, right, which will consume the data, and you will also get some data with the help of it. So there are multiple components in it, right, which with the help and using those multiple components, and with the help of those components, you actually create a complete application. So in the cloud, what will happen, whatever different capabilities we talked about, right? Let's say the servers, let's say the databases, let's say the networking capabilities, okay? Let's say the data storage apart from the databases. So these are something which is kind of required components, or you can say the services or building blocks, fundamental things you actually need to create your application. So in cloud computing, everything you will be getting with just one request, and whenever you will actually request these things, you will get, and things will scale for you. Your application will keep on running. You don't need to worry anything about it, right? You don't need to worry where my server is. I need to buy a server, I need to purchase something, I need to purchase some databases, some enterprise version of it, or anything like that. You don't need to worry about it, and that is the beauty of cloud computing. Like, you just focus on the application core logic, and rest of the things will be available for you, will provide you something which will be hosted on some which will be hosted on some remote location. So you don't need to worry about its physical availability. Somebody is else there who's taking care of all these things. As soon as you request, they will provide it, and those are actually our cloud service providers, like AWS by Amazon, GCP by Google, Azure by Microsoft. So just a quick difference as well. There are two terminologies. One is on premises, one is cloud computing. So on premises is something which you own, right? Let's say I am a owner of any business or company, right? I am building an application, software, anything. So in order to make it functional, right, I need some kind of hardware machineries, right, where I will be installing other softwares, databases, or other kind of frameworks which I actually require to run my application. So here I am someone who is owning everything, right? The server, I need to maintain it, I need to look for the networking, switches, router, everything I need to take care of it. Okay. And on top of that, the security implementation and many other broad aspects in the software development, right? So this is the concept of on premises, but in the cloud, everything will be on remote. You just request, right? You will be getting those things, anything, right? You need software, you need the resources, you need the networking capabilities, everything you will be getting it. And that's how things are actually divided in couple of categories as well. So that those categories are basically, in cloud computing you will be getting different services, right? Services like SaaS means software as a services. So software as a service means complete software, like on request, can be provided by any enterprise or organization, so that piece will be owned by them. You are just you are just requesting for it, and on top of that you can write your own wrapper, you can just customize it, but the skeleton or the basic needs will be fulfilled by that kind of software itself, which is built by another one and like hosted on their platform. For you it's completely remote, you don't need to worry about it. So that is software as a service, which is SaaS. Then we can also name one thing like which is a PaaS. PaaS means platform as a service. So platform means whenever, let's say, you want to build some kind of application or any kind of software, right, you need a platform, complete development tool related platform, where you can code, you can write, you can execute, and you can deploy, right, in the local dev, something like that, complete kind of platform. So nowadays even those platforms are provided as a service. And third thing is we can name is like IaaS. So that is basically infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure that clears all the things, right? What is infrastructure? Whenever I need to build something, I need to have some kind of infrastructure, and that can be like multiple commodity hardwares, right? And in this infrastructure you need more things like the complete storage mechanism and complete like the databases on different machines. So it's a complete infrastructure for you, the whole kind of cluster available for you, whole commodity hardware is available for you, where you are going to create a full-fledged distributed application which will be running on with the help of these kind of commodity hardwares which are working as a cluster. So these are the three different kind of categories. So on a very higher level I have explained about the cloud computing, how it is differs from the on premises things, and what are the different categorization. Now let's talk about the job scope. So let me tell you one thing very clear, that nowadays every company, right, every company is heavily dependent on these cloud computing capabilities. Cloud computing capabilities, why? Because cloud computing is something which has its own advantages as well, and it has some slight disadvantages as well, right? So uh, like in terms of the advantages, it is like very cheap to afford, first of all thing. Second thing is that you don't need to worry about the maintenance part, right? You don't need to bother about it, what is happening on the like on their side. They will take the responsibility and they will take care everything for you, even the fault tolerance part, the backup and everything. Third thing is the security, right? So things will be very secured at that end. And also with those providers who are the actual cloud computing service providers, they will also help you to enhance your security capabilities, because time to time they keep on doing the audits of your application, like where like they wherever they find some threats, right, they will definitely notify you, and you can cover those things while developing your application. So these things are something which is a really good benefit in terms, or we can say if we compare anything with the on premises. So job scope is very broad in this industry, right? Cloud computing, I mean, companies are dedicatedly hiring for these kind of roles. I will definitely talk about different job roles you can target in this domain, which is cloud computing. But this thing is 100% clear. The job scope is really broad. Every company is looking for some really skilled like cloud developers, right? Cloud engineers who can work and who can just maintain everything, who can take care everything for any project, for any application which is related to cloud. Okay, so the job scope is very broad. Now talking about the what all comes under it, all comes under it like kind of different job profiles which lies under that. So first is like cloud engineer, second is cloud architect, we have the cloud consultant as well, and we have DevOps cloud engineer, we have cloud infrastructure engineer, and such kind of profiles which is related to the cloud. So here most two three profiles which are really popular, that is cloud consultant, another is cloud engineer, cloud architect. These three things are which is really important. So in these profiles what will actually happen majorly, let's say, let's take an example of cloud engineer. So cloud engineer will be a kind of profile, right, where you can have different responsibilities, you can have different job responsibilities based on the company requirements, right? Sometimes you might be working as a complete cloud DevOps engineer as well. So DevOps means which is related to the development, right, and the operations. So let's say there is a team which is building some application, and they need to deploy their application or right on the cloud systems and complete a containerized application, right? Or you can say complete CI/CD pipeline, right? Their complete deployment is happening with the help of CI/CD tools. Okay, so if that is the main part, so you as a cloud DevOps engineer or even a cloud engineer, you might be working on those pieces which is handling these complete DevOps related work, right? Which is related to the any cloud platform, like you can maintain these things on AWS, GCP, Azure, whatever your company is using. Okay, so that will be one of the role responsibilities. Then comes the cloud consultant. So cloud consultant is also one of the very popular profile nowadays. So in that case, what will happen, let's say you are an organization which is really good on the cloud solutions, right? You have built something, you actually build it kind of application which is completely cloud agnostic, right? Nowadays this is the thing actually happening. So cloud consultant in this application, what majorly will happen, let's say there is a consulting firm or service based firm which is providing a solution to any of their client, right? So in that case, what will happen as a consultant, right? As a consultant, you need to design those kind of architectures, or like you need to take those kind of decisions where things can move from, let's say, on premises. Let's say there was a client, right? They built their application right in the beginning and it was completely on premises. So on premises now they cannot afford such resources, or they cannot hire like highly demanded or highly skilled cloud engineers, cloud DevOps engineers which can work for them, and who can actually migrate their on premises application to a cloud agnostic application, right? So in that case they reach out to different companies, different consulting firms, right? That we have a solution and we want to just migrate it to some cloud platform. So there any company might choose different cloud provider, right? So they need some kind of skilled engineer, right, who is well versed with the cloud technologies and can actually help their team, can actually help that particular client with the best solution, with best possible cloud services, which will be used to migrate their on-premises solution to the cloud solution. Okay, so this will be the role of cloud consultant. And then cloud architect, which is definitely a very very good role. So there let's say we have the technical architects, right? When we design any web application or any kind of software, right? When you work as a team, there will be different roles, let's say junior engineers, software engineers, then team leads, then architect. So architect, the role of responsibility of the architect for any application, for any software component product, he will design the higher and lower level kind of design, right, for that application, how it will look like, what will be different components. But let's say your team, your company is actually working for those products which will be completely hosted or which will be created with the help of cloud services. Then there we need some architect which is well versed with the cloud components, cloud technologies, or on a higher level we can call them as a cloud architect as well, because they are really proficient in it. They know all the pros and cons of different cloud services and everything. They know what is the best fit for this use case, and that's how like you can become a cloud architect. And in the cloud architect role you will be having these kind of job responsibilities. So that was about like what kind of job profiles available in it. Now I can talk about how this career roadmap looks like in the cloud computing, right? Like with what kind of job profile you can start and till what extent you can go, right, in your industrial career, and what all things where you need to focus more. And as I was talking about different job profiles, I started with cloud engineer, cloud DevOps engineer, okay, and cloud infrastructure engineer, cloud admin, right, who will take care of admin related thing for any specific company which is working on a different cloud platform. So these kind of profile will be there, and slowly gradually you can move right into different profiles if you want to explore different domains within the cloud computing as well. And I have seen people who actually started as a software engineer, software developer, and slowly gradually they started liking cloud more and more, and they completely shifted to cloud, like let's say cloud engineer, and have been dealing complete cloud DevOps part related things. So these will be on the junior to mid senior level kind of profiles. You will be getting like simple cloud DevOps engineer and cloud engineer, cloud infrastructure engineer. And then we have the different cloud providers like AWS, GCP, Azure, which actually like providing different levels of certifications, right? So certifications, you can say, just like level advancement, right? If you clear those level of advancement for those kind of or any specific cloud platform, you can reach up to this level, which is definitely a very reputed and very important role, which is the cloud architect. Because it's not like I have just very basic understanding of the cloud services and I can call myself a good cloud architect. No, I have to be really proficient in it, and that comes with the experience, that comes with different exposure of use cases, and that you will actually learn when you will be working on these certifications, right, provided by different cloud providers. Because there will be a one level up thing in every certification. So let's say three, you might have seen these kind of like things for any profile, let's say 3x AWS, or like 7x or 8x GCP something. So those are nothing level of certifications, because they have some specific criteria. Let's say if somebody cracks, let's say 11x GCP or 11x Microsoft Azure, that means that guy has covered most of the things related to the cloud platforms and knows really well about the cloud services. And then like that guy can be called as a good cloud architect, right? So this is the thing, and that's how you can move into this career of the cloud computing. And now important thing is like what all kind of skill sets are actually required. So skill sets are very common here, right? Again, that will somehow overlap with the software engineering profiles, at least some extent for sure. So the very first requirement is you should have a good understanding of the databases. So databases are really important. Again, you will be working on cloud applications, so it's not like that you are not building something, you are not creating something. Okay, so again, I gave the example of the cloud consultant kind of profile, right, which was a kind of profile migrating an on-premises application completely to cloud application. Okay, so obviously development work will be there, you will be developing again something. You definitely need to know these typical computer fundamentals like databases first. Second, programming languages which are really popular in the cloud world, that is Python, Java, Ruby and Rails. And then the Linux, like the good understanding of Linux based system, like Linux commands, shell scripting. Because even the cloud platforms, right, you will be actually working closely with these kind of systems, those cloud servers, or even they will be providing you a very Linux shell based kind of interface where you need to interact with, you need to access those servers and execute some commands, writing some shell script for automation related purpose. So you definitely need to know these things. And then you should also have a really good idea about the networking protocols, how things actually work across the cloud networking. Because there will be a lot of things you need to set up, right, when a application will move from on premises to cloud kind of infrastructure, cloud kind of environment. So how someone will be like accessing any specific component of application which is hosted on cloud, and the device is somewhere else, right, the remote device. So access related thing, how this whole communication is happening, how this entire like networking protocols are running, right, on the system cloud platform. So you should have a really good idea about it. And then I talked about different cloud providers, like you can pick anyone, right, you can explore these three, the AWS, GCP and Microsoft Azure. You should also have a good idea about the web services and API, how these things actually work, like how you will be actually interacting with the cloud services, right, which provides a API kind of interface, right. And last but not the least, information security, right, security protocols is also something which will be a very important part of your roles and responsibilities, be it the architect, be it the cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, because cloud is something uh, like where you need to make the thing secure by your own as well, right? Everything won't be implemented by the cloud provider itself. You also need to work hard to make sure that the application you have hosted or created on the cloud platform, it is completely secure. So you need to know all the security aspects, right? Where can be a loophole and the application can be accessed over the internet, because cloud is something which is also running over the internet. And last, the very important part is the salary insights, which is something important part to know, like what kind of salary ranges somebody can expect in the cloud computing domain. So if you are, let's say, targeting any kind of service based companies, and I'm taking a reference for the entry level freshers and like very junior level of freshers. So if you are someone who are interested in these kind of profiles, so if you are targeting service based companies as well, on an average you can get 7-8 lakhs per annum. And next is, if you are targeting some really growing startups and well established startups, you can definitely expect a compensation between 14 to 18 LPA, and there will be different components in it as well. And if you are targeting some these tech giants who are actually the cloud providers as well, and there are numerous plethora number of job opportunities in these three companies for sure, the Google and the Microsoft and the Amazon, because these three are the you can say top tech cloud service providers. So these companies are definitely hiring for cloud like engineering and different cloud computing related roles. So there you can make a money between 24 to 30 lakhs per annum with different component stocks and everything. So salary band is also very good, equivalent to the a typical SD profile something, because cloud has become a very essential thing, and we can even say like it's a necessity of nowadays or the modern tech industry, right? So that is why the future is also and that is why the future is also very bright in the cloud computing. You don't need to worry about that, like if your designation is something cloud engineer, so somebody won't call you a software engineer. You are actually a software engineer. It's just like you are adding extra component, or you are just adding cloud infrastructure related or cloud terminology related name in front of your profile. At the end you will be building something, you will be creating something, right? Whatever application is, whatever kind of service it is, you will be creating, you will be coding as well. So it's definitely good profile to start with as well, and very demanded, at least in modern tech industry. So future is also really good, and that's how, based on the information which I have provided, you can figure out what kind of profile will be a best fit for you. So that's what I had for you guys in this video. If you like this information about the cloud computing, make sure to hit the like button so that this video can reach to maximum number of people. And you can also put your queries in the comment section, and can let me know in the comment section that what kind of job profile you like more, what is actually like completely mapping with your interest. And also, yes, don't forget to subscribe the channel.